This is one of the first times that the Norton Museum of Art has put together a site-specific installation of this scale, of this nature. Like all light and space work, EST is a artwork that doesn't begin until the viewer steps into the experience. Hi, I'm Arden Sherman. I am the Glenn W. and Cornelia T. Bailey Senior Curator of Contemporary Art, and we are standing inside of the exhibition Laddie, John, Dill, Eastern Standard Time. Laddie John Dill is an artist from Southern California, and he was part of the vanguard that developed the California light and space movement of the late 1960s and early 1970s. We see a new kind of work emerges, manipulations of light and neon. We see artists who are intervening in architecture and manipulating where light sources come from and how it feels to be inside of spaces. And Laddie John Dill was certainly doing that in his own way. This work exists because Laddie came and installed it himself. And he designed the layout of where the light tubes were to be embedded into the sand. Everything that we see in this installation is of Laddie's own construct.
It's like painting with light, in a sense, and earth materials. I used brooms and shovels instead of paintbrushes. The canvas is actually set by the room itself. It's architecturally specific. Sand is like a silver screen, so it reflects the pure color. Ocean, water conservation. That's what I'm seeing here. It's a landscape to me. Landscape using indigenous materials of the area. I actually got part of the idea of this by driving by the California Aqueduct, which is the water system for Southern California. Just that system of water.
The focal point of Eastern Standard Time is an installation, a site-specific installation called EST, which is an acronym for Eastern Standard Time, and that's where we derived the name of the exhibition from. EST is part of Laddie John Dill's series of silica landscapes. What we're looking at are 15,000 pounds of locally sourced silica sand. This sand is chosen because of its fine grit and reflective qualities. Inside of the sand are 37 hand-blown glass tubes that have been embedded into these troughs that have been hand-created and decided by Laddie himself. These tubes are filled with argon and mercury, and when affixed to a transformer, they ignite and illuminate this wonderful kind of melodic blue hue. What we are experiencing inside of King Gallery is one of the largest ones he's ever made. Laddie John Dill is best known for his light sentences. The light sentences are hand-blown glass tubes, each a different color, that are fused together and then filled with argon and oftentimes mercury. When they are ignited with electricity through a transformer, they emit a different hue depending on the color of the glass. So it becomes this beautiful lyrical gesture, and we're lucky enough to have one on display inside of this exhibition. What's really special about EST is that this work, along with the light sentence that we have on display inside the exhibition, are both part of the Norton's permanent collection. If the opportunity arises, we would be able to display these works again in the future. The sensation when walking into the space is really awe-inspiring. There's feelings of landscape, There's feelings of deep sea exploration. There's snow-capped mountains. There are also kind of this otherworldliness element to it. What I really appreciate about Laddie's work, EST, is the dichotomy of materials that he's playing with. The coldness of the glass tubes, but then also the softness of the sand and the kind of gestural movements that you see throughout the sand. I think what I'd like our audiences to take away is a feeling of calm and quietness. I think there's much to be explored with our eyes, and in a moment when we're so obsessed and drawn into screens, that this feels like a nice respite. It is a unique moment to experience this work here at the Norton, because even if we do install it again, it will not be the same ever again. Everything about it is dependent on the visitor to be there.